All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming. This is going to be a very special event. First time we've had a live podcast in our little theater here that we just built a year ago. We finally got some grant money to build this. We were using our film studios and bringing in chairs to have our film appreciation classes for 2 years. Then a very rich person endowed this great space. And Nick was here a few weeks ago, talked to one of my classes, did a wonderful job, and I think he liked the space. And we're so glad to accommodate it. And without further ado, our stars of the show for tonight. Hit it, maestro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, radio fans, podcast fans around the world, please join me in welcoming our hosts of Velocity Chaos Podcast, Luke Horvat, Nick Royak, and our special guest, Mike Wendt.
Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming out. Really appreciate you being here. Excited to do our show with you tonight. Thanks for all the great topics. We're going to get into them. It's going to be a blast. Just a quick reminder, if you want to double your odds of winning a raffle tonight, go on Instagram, Velocity Chaos Pod. If you comment on another topic, we will write your name on another card and put it in the bucket to double your chances for a raffle prize. You want to say anything?
Yes, thank you everyone for showing up. We really appreciate this. Back when we start, no, I won't get into it, but thank you guys for all coming. We really appreciate it.
And we just want to thank Mike Wendt for coming out and hanging with us. Yes. Give it up for Mike. Mike's from the Cleveland Film Commission, so he's got a lot of fun stuff to talk about with us. And, the couple of film students in our audience, we're really happy for you to meet him. So stick around and enjoy the show. All right, and just to key it off, we're on 3. If everyone could give me a send it, that would be great. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Send it!
Welcome to another episode of Velocity Chaos!
Coming to you at the speed of sound, we are on the air at Cleveland State University's Film and Digital Media Center in Cleveland, Ohio. My name is Nick, and I am joined by my one and only, my tried and true co-host, Luke.
Oh, hello, guys, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming here. First, I want to introduce our tried and true trusty DJ, Do It Again.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me out again.
Oh, thanks for coming in. As you see him right here, normally we're just, we're on the YouTubes too, but, our 50th guest, not 50th guest, 50th episode guest, Mike Wendt, thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Nick, what do we got on the docket today?
On the docket today, we have a great lineup of segments. We're going to do You Know What's Popular? We're going to cover some Cleveland celebrities. We're going to play Buzzkill, and we're going to do Based on a True Story, where Luke and Mike and I are going to pitch a movie that we're going to make up based off of a true story on the fly. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. Don't quote me on this. We're going to break down a quote from one of Mike's favorite filmmakers, and we're just going to talk about that and get some knowledge up in us. So just a reminder for our returning listeners and a note for our new friends, here at the Velocity Chaos Podcast, we explore the highest heights of human knowledge and the lowest depths of crude humor. Our mission is to tickle that pink thing between your ears, poke the frontal lobe, and sometimes just smash the laugh box. So hop in and buckle up for an infotainment ride across the airwaves.
And we would like to thank Cleveland State University, John Bond, Rick Pitchford for setting all this stuff up. Want to thank two amazing women in our lives, Michelle and Deanna. Thank you guys so much for all this and the gift cards that are available for today. And, of course, our guest, Mike Wendt. But before we get into all of it here, Mike, do you have any socials that people can find you on?
Oh, yeah. You can find me on Facebook. I'm easily accessible there, Mike Wendt. I'm on Instagram at nmike and Twitter, nmike1, because somebody stole nmike. But I'm okay with it.
It happens. So just a reminder, review, rate, and subscribe on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever they're calling it now. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can always watch the episodes on YouTube, like I mentioned, which is a great place to comment and react. Catch us on, Instagram, Velocity Chaos Pod, something like that.
Heck yeah.
Facebook, all that jazz. We'll get into it, but if you really want to get into it, email us at velocitychaospodcast@gmail.com. Maybe ask for some advice. We haven't done that yet. Thank you guys for your support. All right, everyone. Again, we have our guest here for the 50th episode, Mike Wendt. Mike, if you just want to give us a little overview of what you do at the Film Commission.
Sure. So I work. The Greater Cleveland Film Commission is one of the leading 501c3 nonprofits to help attract film and television to Northeast Ohio. And my job at the commission is the production coordinator. So usually I am the first person of contact when a project is thinking about coming to Northeast Ohio. So I always have to make a great impression. And typically it involves me reading the script and then breaking it down and starting to scout and show them different locations. And then also we have all the various crew lists from previously shot films here, and we send those along just so they can get a sense of the crew base that's here, which of course, we have so many talented people. And, just really sell the city at all costs. It's, you basically become like a glorified cheerleader, I would say, for the city.
You got to do that. Someone's got to be at the helm, bringing people in. How'd you get into that?
So I worked for several years in the as a freelance person here in Cleveland, and really got to know a lot of the people. I think I started like in camera department. That was really my passion, but I slowly learned that there are so many other people who are so much better than me in the camera department, and I had to kind of adjust a little bit, and locations fell into my lap, so I started to do the location thing, scouting and managing, and after doing that for a couple years, I was asked by the previous president of the Film Commission, Ivan Schwartz, to see if I was maybe interested in joining the commission, because he pitched it like this. He was like, "You like scouting, right?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." And he was like, "You like making money, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I like making money. Would you like to have a check every 2 weeks?" I was like, okay. I really had to think about it, because it was, there's a lot that I'm leaving out, but it was really hard for me to first get onto some of these sets. I kind of came from the really low budget world. I didn't go to like a proper film school or anything. So to give that up, but I, was a hard decision. But I also looked at it like this: there are a lot of people who are in my shoes, who want to get into this business. Maybe I can help be that person that gets that person their first job. So that's what really, because after talking it over with my, then girlfriend, now wife, she put it like that. She, it really put things in perspective. It was just like, she was like, "You worked your ass off, like let's let some other people have their turn." So that's why I joined the commission.
One of the real guardians of Cleveland film, I guess. No, not baseball or roller derby hockey or whatever. What are they? Roller rink. Anyway, but so thank you for that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little warm up game here. We're gonna play Make the Connection, and you guys gave us some options here. So we're gonna pick a few words, and we're gonna play. It's an improv game where, you start with one word, and we each take a turn saying a word that kind of hopefully moves towards the destination word. So
This is a warm up.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm gonna let you go. You want me to go first? And
Yeah,
then you, okay,
I'll
you
let
watch
you go
us do
first.
one, but we
Okay,
got to make sure
yeah.
you're nice and warm for this too. So, DJ, you give us 2 words, and Luke and I'll let it rip first.
All right. What we got here? Ooh, okay. This is very fitting. We have actor to Taco Bell.
Okay, actor to talk about. So, actor,
John Stamos,
Full House,
Twins,
Rome,
Caesar.
Dogs.
Chihuahua.
Commercials.
Fast food.
Tacos.
Taco Bell.
Nailed it.
Got it.
All right, so now you know how this works.
Okay. All right.
You can do one with Luke, and then I'll do one with you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chloe Royak, for that suggestion. All right, this one comes from John Danig out there in the audience. Let's go with soccer players to New Orleans.
Pele.
Brazil.
South America.
North America.
Utah.
West.
Actually, where's the end
to,
game
we're
again?
going to New Orleans.
All right. Oh, I really messed that up.
No,
Okay.
we're good. We're good.
Trumpet.
Creole.
Louis Armstrong.
Music.
Jazz.
Nolans.
All right, we need to go back over the rules.
Yeah.
All right, let's get one more in here. We're getting warmed up. I feel the moment's coming. All right. This one comes from just for two. We have, wow, this is a good one. Bouncer to North Korea.
Okay. You and me. You want to start it?
Okay. Wrestler.
Matt.
Pin.
Bowling.
Ball.
Bald.
Sorry, I have like.
We're going
I
North
don't have
Korea.
like this.
North Korea.
Oh yeah, North Korea. Okay. Okay.
Just say North Korea.
South Korea.
All right. Yeah, North Korea. Got it. All right, we're warmed up.
All right.
We're good. We're warmed up. We're gonna roll into our first segment.
So those three, you guys won the first 3 gift cards for
first
Starbucks.
3 gift
Don't come up now.
cards.
Don't rush
Wait,
up.
we'll get them. We'll
says
go
that?
top to bottom.
What do they win?
Starbucks gift cards.
Starbucks gift cards.
So get those at the end of the show. So thank you guys. Let's get into our first real segment here. It's what we call Do You Know What's Popular? If I can get words out. So we usually take a top 10, top 5 list, and I wanted, we're in the film building here at Cleveland State. So I figured, why not do top 50 celebrities from Cleveland, but we'll do the top 5 in the last century. So this list is from Cleveland.com as of 2017, who took their list from 2013 Plain Dealer. So we're just passing it on. So as of 2017, Mike, who do you think are some of the most popular celebrities from Cleveland?
Probably say Halle Berry.
Nice.
Probably Drew Carey.
Oh, good one.
Paul Newman.
I didn't know that.
That's a
Paul Newman's from Cleveland?
Randy Newman. No.
But wait.
Yeah.
Paul Newman's from Cleveland.
Shaker Heights.
Wow.
That might beat Halle Berry. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't Catherine Hahn from Shaker Heights too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Catherine.
She's my favorite.
Anyone in the audience that you got any guesses? For
Top celebs from
top
Cleveland.
celebrities from Cleveland. Bob Hope.
Bob
yeah.
Hope.
Oh yeah.
dude. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure he's on
Machine
there.
Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly. That's a good answer. Megan Fox.
Ooh. LeBron James. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russo brothers.
All right. Well, I'll come in here with the top 10, and we'll get a little more into the top 5. So 10, Toni Morrison, novelist, editor, professor. Lorraine Native.
Toni
That.
Morrison.
There you go. Number 9.
Sophisticated.
It's very sophisticated. It's a nice top 10. Alan Freed, the father of rock and roll.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, radio guy. If not for him, we wouldn't be doing this probably. Number 8, Hal Holbrook.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Think about it.
He was nominated for an Oscar for Into the Wild.
Oh.
This is why we bring in experts.
Yeah.
Exactly. I thought this would be right up Mike's alley.
As what? As
He was
Screenwriter?
he was one of the older men
Oh.
who helps the lead character, and I can't remember the
Emil
actor's
Hirsch.
name. Yes, Emil Hirsch
Yeah.
along his way.
Okay, great. Oh, he's the guy at the end. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
All right, number 7, LeBron James. Number 6, Chrissy Hind.
Pretenders.
Yes. And then number 5, here we go. This is the meat of it. Your favorite, he thinks Cleveland rocks, right? Drew Carey, your host of The Price is Right.
Why does he beat everybody? Like the first name to come to mind, like, Drew Carey. I'm like, there's so many others.
Cleveland rocks. He's just doing that for 5 minutes. Of course, it's going to be Drew Carey.
He's an ideas guy. Okay. And number 4, Mike said it, Halle Berry, right? Yeah. Model, actress, Cleveland native, the only African-American to win Best Actress Oscar for Monsters Ball, portrayed sexy Bond girl Jinx in Die Another Day, and Storm in the X-Men movies. Remember that one? I remember that.
Oh yeah, flying around the white hair,
Yeah, it was nice. making it rain. Making it wind.
making it wind all over the place.
Here we go. Number 3. Are you ready for this one? Thomas Hanks.
Wait,
Hold on.
Not from.
hold on.
Hold on.
Hey, blame Cleveland.com and the Plain Dealer. I have faulty research sources.
Hold the phone.
Somebody needs to do a double check. Can we get our experts up in the panel?
You are a toy. Sorry, I had to.
Known for
Easy.
I was thinking.
I'm good. I'm looking. I'm double checking, but keep going. You have two more. I know.
Yeah. Actor, producer, writer, director. Began acting career in Cleveland with what is then now the Great Lakes Shakespeare Festival. Won Cleveland Critics Critical Award in 1978 for The Two Gentlemen of Verona. If you guys remember that one, some of our more seasoned audience members.
Saw it 5 times.
Ooh. And then the 2-time Oscar winner for Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. So then now we get into top 2. And they've been named. We've had the names. So number 2, Bob Hope.
Boom. Good one.
Actor, comedian, grew up in Cleveland, worked in the vaudeville, the true showman of the last century. Not now with all these cameras and how you doing? No, but I think the performances of vaudeville were just incredible. Radio, television, and film. Bob Hope appeared in highly successful comedies, including 7 road movies with Bing Crosby and Dorothy Lamour. Hosted the Academy Awards and performed for U.S. troops during 57 overseas tours.
Wow. He's really dedicated.
Man of the people.
Yeah.
Man of freedom.
So that was number 2.
Now, number 2.
Okay.
We want to clarify number 1.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. Number 1 in the 23 in the program. Number 1 in our
23.
hearts. No. Paul Newman.
Paul Newman
Nice job.
called it.
Actor, director, screen legend, race car driver, humanitarian, Shaker Heights native, nominated 9 times for Academy Awards, winning for The Color of Money, as well as 2 honorary Oscars. Had major roles in more than 50 motion pictures, including Cool Hand Luke. That's who I was named after, just FYI. Exodus, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and The Sting.
And purveyor of food.
Yes.
Purveyor of food. Lest we forget.
So, yeah, with that, you guys think anyone else might creep up on this list as of the last 5 years?
Yeah, I got somebody. I've been waiting for this.
You.
Yeah, me. Yeah, me. Right? No, Lily Reinhart is from Cleveland.
Yes.
I think DJ knows her.
We actually went to school together.
Yeah.
For a couple years. Yeah.
Do you know of Lily Reinhart? Sorry, Mike, I'm looking at you. DJ. Sorry. I'll be down
Yes,
next
I
time.
do. I am aware that she's on the show Riverdale.
Yes.
And she's one of the local casting persons is close friends with her.
Got it.
I've had a almost run in with her, but I think she was sick that day, so did not.
So close.
yes.
So Lily Reinhart's from Beechwood, or
She's from Bay.
Bay. She's from Bay. Okay, so she's an actress. She was in, like Mike said, what was it, the Riverdale, right?
Yeah.
She's also in the movie Hustlers with J-Lo, And then she's got 28 million followers on Instagram. I mean, this girl,
Gotta
I
be
think
high up there if she's got 28 million followers.
she must be trending in the right direction.
That's like 7 less followers than Luke has.
Yeah, barely edging me out with my TikToks.
So I think she's going to be a player. She's very young, so I think she's got a long career ahead of her. She just keeps doing these shows. So I'd say that's just another notch, another feather in the cap of Cleveland.
Yeah. And before we get out of this segment here, Stacker did and we'll have these in the show notes. I know this means nothing to you guys right now in the audience or listening. But Stacker did an updated one here of the last month of the most influential people or highest touted people currently on from IMDb. So I'll just do the top 5 real quick from those. Paul Newman at number 5 and Ted Levine, number 4.
Wow, that's a good one.
Alan Ruck, number 3. Ferris Bueller. Not Ferris Bueller, but the other guy. Can't think of it.
Cameron.
That really famous guy.
The other one.
Other famous character.
Number 2, Clancy Brown. He was
Like
in,
the deep voice guy.
I think so. Yeah.
Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs. He
Really?
was in Shawshank. He was one
Wow.
of the bad guys.
I'd vote for him.
Yeah. And then number 1, Luke Grimes. 50 Shades of Grey.
Really? Okay.
This is just what this is.
We
the
don't
information
watch
I have.
that. We don't watch that stuff.
Only after midnight.
You know me so well. That's great. I appreciate you looking up that list because I think sometimes, especially from Midwest towns, people have to remember that you can really pursue your dreams. They don't have to be in showbiz. They can be sports. They can be philanthropy. Paul Newman. I mean, it's a great story there of just how many people he impacts, even from beyond the grave. So
Absolutely.
I think it's always a reminder to me too. Devin, my friend Devin, and I have this little thing where we keep track of all the Cleveland references and TV shows. I think there's a lot of writers out in Hollywood that just slip in. My favorite is in The Good Place. You ever see that show?
Oh, yeah.
So The Good Place, they like rank people. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, it's a good one.
So they rank people by certain deeds and different things in life, and you get plus or minuses to like go to the good place or the bad place. And there's like the bubble where all of the different items come out for the character. And there's one in like the upper right corner, and it just says being from Cleveland. And it's like plus 400. Like you get a bonus just from being from Cleveland.
We're ahead.
Yeah. So like this is a good place to be from. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, I mean, thanks, buddy, for that segment. That was a good one. It's such a gas. Speaking of gas, have you ever been on a crowded elevator? You know the one where you're with a potential new business partner heading up to that corner office, or you made eye contact with that hottie in the back while stepping in and you just let one slip? Or how about if you're cutting a rug at the crowded house party where you're just the center of the celebratory universe, everyone loves you, and you just can't keep the sphincter taut? Well, we've all been there, so we all need Gasaway in our pockets. Gasaway is an olfactory salvation in a small chapstick-sized canister you can easily stow on your person. If you get yourself in a situation that just stinks, pull the pin on a Gasaway, and instead of last night's chimichangas, your friends, colleagues, and local hotties will all be smelling lovely lilac, summer spice, or autumnal aroma filling your personal bubble. If you're like me and need a bowel movement bailout, head over to gasaway.com and use the code VCAirBiscuit at checkout to get a BOGO bonanza of canisters. Never get busted again for breaking wind. This is not an actual product, service, or idea, just in case you thought it was. It's not. If there is something out there with the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation and offer no judgment on the actual product, service, or idea. So, Mike, I know that's a hard one to follow up with anything interesting, right? I want to talk to you a little bit about film commissions, which I know you probably get a lot, but we'll come back to you, okay? We'll come back to you later. We'll come back to talking about you later, Mike. I want to know, what's the main function of a film commission, and why are they important in today's modern film landscape? No, I think we lost him. No, sorry.
You can fire me now.
We will.
Yeah.
Mike, am I on? You're a pro.
Do it again.
I would have done the same
I don't want
thing.
anybody missing this gold.
I would have done the same thing.
No, so film commission, I mean, the main function of a film commission is to really help raise the profile of the area that you're serving. So when it comes to us, it is definitely showing that Cleveland, Northeast Ohio is a destination for filmmakers. And then it's also just to help cultivate all the different people doing things. So a lot of that, I think a lot of times, like for myself, I think it is being present in the community. So doing things like this, going to screenings, talking at Cleveland State, which I've done many times. Sometimes I think when the students see me, it's like, oh, I'm going to hear the same talk again. But but I really want to, it's one of those things where I want to hammer home. It's like, we want to help you, and we want to make sure that you have everything that you need to be able to make the projects that you want to make here. So
That's a good point.
That's what we do.
You just got to lead every conversation from now on with, so Lily Reinhardt. Look her up. Look her up. She's from Cleveland.
Beachwood.
Beach Bay. No, that's great. So I've spoken with some other film commissions, and like I also know that an important part of film commissions is lobbying, at a state level.
Correct.
Is that true as
Yeah.
well? Can you talk a little bit about that and, I guess how in a modern landscape, right? Everyone's competing to get filmmakers in because it's such an airdrop of cash into an economic ecosystem. Because if a movie comes in for 2 months and is dropping $10 million into a local economy, essentially it's just like shooting that right in because they're buying expendables, they're going to restaurants, they're doing hotel rooms, and all that money just gets, like I say airdropped when I describe it because it just, boom, it's in. And obviously there's tax breaks and things that then go back out. Right. But the point of the matter is that economy, the wheel of economy is turning. So is there important things, I guess, film students here, there's a couple people that I recognize from coming here a couple times that are really interested in film business. Like, are there important things that people who want to stay in Cleveland and be filmmakers in Cleveland can do to support you guys in your effort to change things like down in Columbus?
Yeah. So one of the things that we're currently working on is supporting a bill that will raise the incentive from 40 to over 100 and hopefully to 140 million.
Wow.
That is right now the ultimate goal. The other thing is, and there are certain changes that were made in the Ohio incentive when we almost lost our incentive. They split it up, 20 million at the beginning of the year, 20 million at the end. That's great for a company like Netflix. That's great for a company like Disney, who can like emphatically say in 6 months we will still have that money. For independent productions, it's not very friendly. So obviously it's great when we have the Netflixes and the Disneys of the world, but we want to have independent productions as well, because I think that's where the up and coming camera operator would probably get a much higher position, where some of the films like the Netflix and the Disney, they're bringing a lot of their people from the coast. And we want to help get our people training. So by having more money and also kind of getting rid of those windows that kind of hurts the independent filmmakers, because usually the independent filmmakers, if they get the money and they have an actor, they have to go. They have to find a place. So we want to be that friendly state to those productions. So yeah, there's several changes. So I think when the time comes, we will rally everybody, and we might have to do another busload down to Columbus, knocking on the door a little bit. But I think it's the best way to just show them that, because they just assume everybody comes from out of state, but we can show them, hey, we have tons of people who work in this industry here.
That's amazing. And I know you can, because it is statewide, you can also team up with like Columbus and Cincinnati.
Correct.
I know right now there's a commission for each of those cities,
Yes.
but unification's important. Is there like a mailing list that listeners or people here in the audience can just be on, so that if that bus ride does come, they'll be notified of it?
Absolutely. clevelandfilm.com. You can sign up for our newsletter, and you can get all the updates. And, like I said, it's going to be one of those, a unified front, I think, really goes a long way when showing the state that this is something that they should invest in.
Nice. I really appreciate you going on, that topic with us because we are an infotainment podcast, so we are trying to develop as much as we can in our local city and really our state in this region. And I think you get a lot of territory to cover. Like you get farmlands, you get cities, you get mountains, you get a lot, and you get 4 seasons, and that's something that the coasts have to synthesize inside. So, out here you can make those kind of outdoor independent movies for $500,000, $200,000, and get this very rustic, beautiful Rust Belt chic that we like to call it. So, it's good.
Real quick to kind of hammer it. One of the things when working with the unions, they have what's called a 30-mile zone. So, when you set up your production office, you try to stay within that 30 miles because once you go outside of that, that's when your rates go up. But when you have other major metropolitan areas like Atlanta, New York, Los Angeles, you have to travel sometimes upwards to 60 to 70 in order to get some of the locations that we can easily get within that 30 miles. So that's what, I think really makes Ohio attractive to all this.
So not only are the people good, but the place is good.
Yes.
We want to tell the universe, Cleveland is here and ready to go.
We need Fred McFeely Rogers on this pitch. He did it for PBS back in the day.
Fred Rogers, Mr. R. Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate you. And I'm sure if we hear of anything or people who are listening and want to know more, we'll fire them your way.
Absolutely.
Nice. So we're going to pivot over to our next segment. This is called Buzzkill. Just so you all know, these are the people who commented. So put them in. We just doubled all of those chances. Thank you guys for posting on our account and giving us some more things to talk about. This segment is called Buzzkill. The way it works is we have a load of topics and we have a randomized timer that goes between 1 minute and 3 minutes. So we'll be talking, and if we hear the sound, it's over, and we go to the next one. So this is just going to cover a lot of ground really fast. Mike, it's time to put on your aggressive face.
All right.
It's time to throw some bows, make Luke sit down or stand up, whichever. But
And then sit back down.
yeah, this is just supposed to be a lot of fun, and we really appreciate you guys being a part of generating all these. So, we ready? DJ, do it again.
You guys know the rules. Every time you hear the, we're gonna switch it up. So, all right, let me get that timer going and in the magic bucket. All right, he's coming out with the good ones here. Ooh, this is a good one. All right, this one comes from Jesse. This is movies that you shouldn't watch with your parents.
Ooh,
Basketball.
wow, movies you shouldn't watch with your parents. I don't know. I watched a lot of movies with my parents. Sorry, I'm just going down the list of. My parents are in the audience right now. So I don't want them to know what movies I've seen.
I just remember being a kid and I watched basketball, probably
Yeah.
too young. I mean, it's not terrible, but there's swearing and just adult humor. And I heard it come on in the other room. I was like, oh, is basketball on TV? And my mom was like hitting play on the VCR. And she's like, oh, yeah, I was just going to watch this movie. I was like, because as I walked
Yeah.
up, I was like, I love this movie. And she's like, oh, what is it about? I'm like, oh, it's just a sports movie. You won't like it. And she's like, oh, okay. So I kind of dodged a bullet there.
Smart, clever,
Yeah.
clever girl.
I once, at the Cleveland Public Library, they used to not really check IDs when getting movies. So this was 98. So I was, I think
VHS.
I was in 8th grade. Yeah. And I put my name on the list for Boogie Nights because I had heard that it was such a great, it had over 150 critics say best movie of the year, something like that. So I watched it in my room and, mom wanted to come and check in what I was watching. And she immediately was like, walked out. She was like,
Oh, she
"As
left you
were."
to it. That's great.
She did. I mean, my parents were always really cool about letting me watch certain things, but
Basic
that was
Instinct.
just something.
Sorry, I see
Yeah.
you pushing the button. Basic Instinct.
Heather Graham.
Your topic is tattoos.
I always wanted. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan, and I always wanted the DeLorean with like fire coming out it, but like wrapped around my arm. So it just kept going around my arm.
You gotta start.
Okay, that's lame. I won't do that. Got
Pumping 'em.
it. Fine. Thank you, my boys. My boys, looking out for me. Won't do that one.
Don't do
I'm
that
such
one.
a film nerd. I have a set sign tattoo.
It's set pointing this way.
I'm a locations person, so I'm a.
We all laugh,
big,
but when you're rolling up on day 5 of the week and you are just destroyed from 12-hour days and you see that sign, you're like, thank God. And you just follow them. You just follow them to where you need to be. So that is a good tattoo.
I have led people before with my arm. You know.
Well, I'm a big entomologist, and I got this butterfly here.
I like wings. I don't know. I think the ones that are like
a commitment.
photo realistic tattoos freak me out, especially with family and stuff. Like that just.
Your topic from Devin is marriage.
Very nice.
Is my wife still here? Don't listen.
a
No,
trap.
it's good. It's good. When
You can still get our way.
when you find a good person, it's good. I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
Oh, we wouldn't
I
be
agree.
here without our wives.
That's true.
How long you been married, Mike?
It's in May. It's gonna be 2 years.
Okay, we're all on the same boat.
Pandemic marriage.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. Very cool. Got to get DJ hooked up here. DJ, don't do it again. No, marriage is great. It's oldest trick in the book.
Well, yeah. I mean, which book?
This is another one from another Devin on Instagram. Hold on. This is from our job hunting.
You gotta have good aim, man.
What did I just tell you the other day about the job hunting hack, where you copy
Have you heard of this?
copy the job post and then put it as a white watermark on your application, and then when they do like keyword searches, everything hits.
Let that sink in. Let that
Looking for
sink
a
in.
job.
That's nuts because it's all algorithm based. You don't
Right.
need one. You got the best job in the world. So he's not looking. But for all you out there, yeah, you just that's the world's greatest.
Or
hack.
is there something called like a job that's not just this idea of work, but it's like an actual creature, and then people just go out and hunt it?
Job hunting?
Job hunt. Feel bad for that guy.
That's like in Romania they do that. Job hunting. Job hunting. That's what that book in the Bible's about. Like he's just getting
Book
hunted.
of Job.
The book of
is
Job.
Should have been the book of
It's
the
really
hunt.
just a warning of just like this ancient ritual of people just hunting.
Your topic from the bucket is the movie Coda. Coda.
Inspiring.
Oh, that's what that one.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Camera. I love you.
yeah,
And then if you
a feel-good movie.
if you do this, it means I love you a lot. I love you very much. I learned that from the poster.
We're going to fact check that.
It's, if you cross your finger over, yeah, our listeners aren't going to be.
I think
what
it's-
I'm talking about right now.
I've never seen it, but just the idea of, well, yeah, of course. I
was
haven't
gonna
seen a
say
movie.
deaf,
yeah,
a
that's
deaf
normal.
podcast like on YouTube. No, I'm serious.
What do you do?
Like,
Vibrations?
no, people like assigning podcasts like that.
Oh,
could
it'd
be,
be visually.
No.
yeah,
okay.
on YouTube.
You say podcast, I'm thinking audio.
We could produce
I'm a
that.
little slow.
I don't know. I think that movie broke up in a lot of things. To be really honest, like I think it was cool. I don't think it should have won the Oscar. You gonna fight me on that?
No, I think it's a very great film. I was not rooting for it, but
Okay.
I'm sorry to say.
Can't take it back.
That's the timer, buddy. It's not me. I got nothing to do. Your topic is lumberjacks.
Oh, big, strong ones. Yeah. Muscly arms,
Who wrote that? Deanna? My wife?
flannel shirts.
Oh no, that one came from the monolist.
Oh,
Yeah,
chopping
no.
down trees.
Lumberjack's my fallback plan.
Oh.
You know, like out in the woods, fresh air.
Have you ever cut down a tree? I did see a video that you made about your dad and brother cutting down trees.
I was just the cameraman. You got me good on that one. But I was there to document it for
cool.
posterity.
No, they look good doing it.
I mean, look, if a tree falls in the wood and a cameraman is not there to video it, did it happen?
How did it go down?
Look, we're important too. Lumberjacks, sure. But you ever do log splitting? Mike's like, what
I
is
can't
this?
say. I can't say.
Log splitting
I
with
have
the-
seen plenty of Lumberjacks games growing up
Oh, those are cool.
for the hockey.
best.
You know,
Really quick, my family gets together to do log splitting, where you take the big round log and you put it in this wedge, and it slowly hydraulically pushes through and like cracks open, and you make like nice pieces of firewood, right? And one of the best times we ever had was my uncle was. Everyone had walked away because my aunt came out with hot cocoa. It's like everyone's like, "Oh, hot cocoa!" And he like stayed over by the wedge, and like we were also chainsawing, and he fires up the chainsaw, and I'm the only one watching him because he had a bottle of ketchup, and he fires up the chainsaw, dropped it, and just goes, "Ah!" And then he's squirting this ketchup out of this hole he cut in his pant leg. It was terrific.
That's dedication, right?
But I
there,
thought
the
we were
guy.
going to lose grandma that day.
Your topic from Abby is Luke's luscious locks.
This is.
I'm pretty jealous of those.
I am thinning.
Just flutter it into the mic for this segment.
11 years strong.
11 years strong.
2011. I did cut it in 2013, but since 10 years, I guess.
I wonder
Good
if
decade.
John Bon ever saw you with with the short haircut. Just maybe when you first
Maybe.
started, huh?
Oh, I have the weirdest Cleveland State University ID badge because my brother gave me a bold cut and he's like, it'll be funny. I was like, okay. It was not funny.
For how long?
It was
Is it gonna be
funny at the time, but after that, it was not funny because that was for the next 5 years. That was the
Because
picture
they took
of me.
the picture. Yeah. So that's why you. No, it's fair.
Your topic is from Brandy. It is the best countries.
America? Yeah, thank you.
Done.
Duh.
Case in point.
Hit the buzzer.
Canada's nice. I went up there.
Ow, what are you maple syrup sucking?
Oh yeah, I do
Dimwit?
maple syrup. Get some poutine. Go down some poutine up there.
Have you ever had that?
I have.
I can't get on board with poutine. I love French
You
fries,
love
man, but
fries.
I love them in their purest form.
You like gravy?
Don't put the gravy, the lard, or
Okay.
the curds,
Curd,
the
cheese curds.
cheese curds. Those all need to be separate.
Segregation of foods.
But yeah,
So America first.
yeah. England, not great.
No, we took what's ours from someone else who
Dominican
already
Republic,
had it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole mess.
Yeah. I'd like to go check out. I've never been on the continent of Africa. I'd like to go check out those countries. Can you rate a country if you've never been to it? There's the question. There's the root
real.
question.
I've only been to 2, so those are the 2 I named.
What's the farthest you've been, Mike?
Aruba.
Okay. Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah, that's why you're a DJ. That's why you're a DJ.
What about Antarctica with the endurance?
It's a dark horse, but it might get there. You know.
Yeah.
Your topic is from Alyssa. It is smoking weed.
Oh. To be honest, I've never done it. Like straight up.
Well-
but I'm curious. I mean, like maybe it'll do something. But I've never been curious enough. Like
It'll definitely do something.
maybe it'll work.
Well,
better.
we're all about to find out because I mean, what it just
All right.
passed in Congress,
Maybe we'll see. We'll make a day out of it.
Senate, in the Senate.
That'll be episode 100.
Yeah.
It's funny. The longer I wear contact lenses, everyone's like, "Hey, man, where's your stuff?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, well, like my eyes are shot red. It's just-
Be episode 420.
Your topic from Sergio is dog shock collars.
Oh, how do you train
Very
your dog?
controversial topic. I don't know.
I don't know if you need the dog to do something. Like, do you gotta go?
Tiptoe around this one.
It's does it get it done? I don't know.
Do they make them for cats? 'Cause
Cat shot
I would
collar.
love that. Those little assholes like
yeah,
running
my
around, no repercussions.
one of mine is a little shit. Yeah.
Sign Mike up. You could probably just get a dog level, a Chihuahua
them,
level
but-
shock collar.
Give it the
And
love
it'd be
it
okay.
needs.
Look, the thing is, we met Waylon, our buddy Nate. Were you there? We were out on the beach. This dog, no leash, no nothing. There was people everywhere, public park. And this dog was the most well-behaved dog I've ever seen. And it was a shock collar combo with the little chirp. So that's it. I think if you really are diligent, if you're going to be a diligent owner and you're going to do it in their first 2 years, it can really pay dividends. And honestly, at the end of the day, it can make the dog safer, save
Yeah.
its life. Because if you can really, if that dog's going or bolting or not listening to you and just goes, and you can call him back real quick with a little yip, you might save the dog's life. So I'm not averse to it. Come out and say not going to dance around it anymore.
No, but
Shock collars, yes.
no, I
Vote for shock
the
collars.
treats don't work. At least maybe the way I'm doing it. He only does stuff for treats now. But he's a good dog. Otto's a good dog. I don't know. He's got sweet eyes. He does. Have you seen his eyes?
Man, you are had.
I didn't know they were just for dogs. Me and my brother used them all the time.
I thought those were my mom.
Your topic from Ray is electric bikes.
Oh, beautiful. What could be better than electric cars?
No bikes.
Bikes.
You just answered my question.
Yeah, that's what I answered it. Got you. I got you.
You were like correcting me.
No. That's the way you took it.
I don't know.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my electric bike,
ride right out of here.
take the high road.
You're not even going to hear me leave. Do you ride bikes?
Yeah. I mean,
Poor Mike. I just keep tossing questions
No,
at him.
I actually I need to buy a new one. I was
Nice.
hoping maybe for another stimmy chick, but
Okay.
come on, Biden, get on that.
Daddy needs a new electric wheels. Upcycle. You're not going to find electric bikes there, but I recommend Upcycle.
Okay,
He pieces
yeah.
together good parts from old bikes. It's genius.
Yeah.
And then you get a
Frankenstein
good
bikes.
Frankenstein bikes. Yeah, that's what I should have called it.
This one is from Dylan. It is film fundraising.
You got to do what you got to do.
I personally, for film fundraising, I'm not the biggest fan of the crowdsourcing. I know some people who are really successful at it. There's a local guy who just raised over like 1.3 million for a horror film. Chris Stuckman is his name.
What did he promise? That's the key. What did he
There's,
promise?
I mean, damn good perks, I guess. But
yeah. How much do those cost?
I think the lowest was 75.
No. How much does it cost to pay for the perks for the people? Like if
That's a good point.
if you're like, hey, $75 will get you a flight out to California to meet
Yeah, because he's still
Arnold
got to shoot the
Schwarzenegger in a
movie.
movie.
Get you a bag of stickers and a little lollipop. I don't know.
He's gonna have a Kickstarter for the Kickstarter.
Rolling credit card debt. It's just like the same thing.
Pass it on.
Mike brings up a good point. Warning about for film students out there with Kickstarter campaigns, you got to be very clever about how you're going to return the favor. And it can be a part of your model. There's a VC creative or creator
Yes.
is a guy in England who does this, and he does it for documentaries about genre movies. If you want to learn about it, you go talk to Robin, and I could hook it up because he is a great guy, smart guy, and he's breaking the mold on the model. So if you're going to do it, go research it first. Don't just put it out there.
Yeah.
Definitely do your research. Talk to Robin Block.
The other
at
thing is,
VC Creative.
like, if you get a tattoo like this one here,
Your topic is The Who. This comes from Peyton.
oh, the whom,
The Whom.
the whom,
The Whom?
yeah.
I don't know that band.
What? Pinball wizard.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
we're joking. No, it's a Who. It's Who. The Who. The Who's the what's it? No,
Oh, I missed an S.
the Who. The Who. I love that band. Teenage Wasteland, baby.
Right? No.
Teenage Wasteland. Let's sing it. Come on. No, I'm just kidding.
I hear and I feel. Something like that.
That scream. Do you ever hear this? I think he broke a vocal cord. You know that song, the Who song where it comes back in crashing. Like it's I don't think is it Teenage Wasteland. The lead vocalist during a live performance, there's this yell in the song, and it's one of my favorite like moments in a rock song.
Oh, won't get fooled again.
Won't get fooled again. That's it. And you go, wow. He broke a vocal cord, like
commitment.
in a live show, doing that. Isn't that nuts?
Is that when the show ended, or did he power through?
Well, because it was like in a certain register, he could keep going. So like, but he could only sing
Everything
more
was
in
an
the middle.
octave lower after
Yeah.
that.
Out here in the fields.
He's a pinball wizard.
That would be a terrible Who show. That'd be so bad. That was okay. We're done.
Yeah, timer is really convenient.
That was a great one.
This one comes from Izzy. It's Playing in the Rain.
Playing in the rain.
Playing in the rain.
Play poo sticks? No,
No,
poo
what's that?
no poo sticks. It's when it's a heavy rain. And you got the rivers on the sides of the road. I'm bumping mics here, and then you take like a stick and then you race sticks.
Man, you had a way rosier childhood than I did. No, my mom would.
That's what happens when you don't have electric
Here's
bikes.
the thing. Here's the problem. I lived on a street with no gutters, so like the stick would right off the road. I was more of a
good times.
skateboard down the hill kid. Just I couldn't ride one, so I sat on it, and rode it down.
In the rain?
Back to the rain. Back to
In
the
the
rain.
rain, yeah.
Playing in the rain.
It's fun.
One time it rained so hard in my buddy's backyard and the water pooled that you could just belly slide literally across the yard. It was like, a couple inches of water and the grass and the water just make this slide. And if you got enough speed,
Yeah.
you could go probably 100 feet. Ohio fun.
Your topic from Michelle is zebras or zebra, depending on where you're
Zebra.
from.
Black
yeah.
on white, white on black. Where
That's
we
it.
at? Where we
Done.
at?
Next one. No. Are they?
That
Are
was
they
the question.
Are they painted donkeys? Is someone just out there painting zebras?
That's a
One of my
topic for
favorite snacks, zebra cakes.
Yeah. Very good.
Oh,
Probably shouldn't have them.
I see you, Mike.
write that down. Probably should have. Probably should stop buying those. Buy an electric bike. No zebras. We still had zebras.
Oh, right.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I just got caught on my eyes. My bad. No. Do people ride zebras?
That's what I was just thinking.
Did someone say no or yes?
Racing stripes.
Are they raced?
Based on
I'd
true
bet
story.
on zebra racing.
Well, yeah. If they ride ostriches, they should be able to ride zebras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That checks out.
Like a little horse.
Are zebras the like back of the line when Noah's Ark came through? Like, did they go alphabetical? Like aardvarks,
They're really sweating. They're like, oh,
armadillos. Like, are we gonna get on there?
check out their watch. You think we're gonna? There's like 20 other animals that don't exist anymore. Like
They were the last ones to make it.
the zaza. It's 2, 3 Z's just in a row. Like, sorry, man.
Zardvark.
A Zardvar.
Pick one more for the giveaway here.
Uno mas.
What's this for? Really amp it up.
Oh, this one is for the Chipotle raffle.
Chapato, who's hungry?
Who's getting that
This
Chipotle?
is the final deal, huh?
Yeah, right.
This one's from Annie O'Neill. It is beekeeping.
Ooh.
Annie O'Neill, beekeeping. Would you do that?
Yeah, I would.
I've always wanted to do it.
It's nice.
It's like staring death in the face, man. Just all those bees right
No,
at
they're
you.
nice.
They are.
You get that honey for the for all occasions. Like give it for every
Yeah.
Christmas.
No.
got all
Don't
your-
help him.
whatever,
Don't help
you know?
him. Don't help him. Keep
All
going.
your gifts.
Keep going on honey.
That's a great idea.
Honey, no, man, they are the bedrock of our ecosystem.
And then we'll get the weed bees here in the future. The bees that only get the marijuana honey.
I wonder, we should ask Annie if you just, the puffer, it's just smoke, but if it's just
Oh, you add
little
to the-
hashish, like is the honey better? Psychedelic honey?
Dude, I can't find the comb, bro.
I don't want to work anymore, man.
What are we doing this for, Annie? Make more
Our
honey.
bees are having existential crises.
What is honey?
Who is the queen, man?
He's trying to keep us down, man. Just trying to be out here in the world with the flowers, man, and the pollen.
That flower child, all the flower children out there. Awesome.
No, I'm glad we could end it with a bright and shining moment. Just like light. Light offers levels of unimaginable illumination. Say that 5 times fast. No, don't! Because that will activate light's self-destruct sequence. And unless you're in dire need of a distraction, don't say light offers levels of unimaginable illumination 5 times. Because if you do say light offers levels of unimaginable illumination, we all know what would happen, and that's not good. I heard this one time at the factory where a light is manufactured. This one worker said light offers levels of unimaginable illumination 5 times, and oh my goodness. Let's just say some prayers for all of those who are affected. I haven't even told you about Light's lifetime warranty and other garbage like that. I just got so hung up on telling you not to say Light offers levels of unimaginable Wait a second. I see what you're trying to do. Anyway, get Light, because they paid us to say that. This is not an actual product, service, or idea, just in case you thought it was. It's not. If there is something out there with the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation on the actual product, service, or idea. Oh, that's me. That's my cue.
Mike's ready.
Mike. Yes. So we got into, you're in the film commission. You do you're the front of the helm. You're the St. Peter of
He
the
wasn't listening.
Cleveland Film Commission. So, what do you think? Even with bigger films coming in, what do you think the importance of just having creative outlets and doing personal projects for the creative and film types?
Oh yeah, I mean, it is always great to have the the commercial films come in, but I think there are so many people here locally who are doing a lot of their own creative projects. Just this past week, I was at the Cleveland International Film Festival and going to the local shorts program was just. That's always like one of those eye-opener things where there are a lot of talented people here, and when you get to finally see what some of the people are doing right now, it's amazing, And I mean, I'm sure there were a lot of also great ones that weren't selected. So, I mean, for me, I think. Working on those kind of is like the Zen kind of thing. So like, I mean, personally, I've been working on this documentary about a local filmmaker named Robert Banks. He is a underground filmmaker. He's been around for a long time, and he's been working on one singular film for the last 10 years. So he shot it for about 4.5. And he's been in this editing process because he's insistent on finishing it on 35. So we've been filming him getting the post done, and it's not easy because a lot of times he's doing it with not a lot of money. I always, when trying to explain to people like what is his situation sometimes, there was one time when we were filming and he asked me to grab a water from the refrigerator. Opened it up, there was water, but then there was just cans of film, like no food, What is it? And so I was like, Robert, where's your food? He was just like, well, hey, there was a sale on Kodak on eBay, and I had to get it now, or I'm not going to get it then. So it's one of those things. Like I'm just inspired by his passion for it, and that's why I've decided to, pursue this. And it's something that I started shooting in 2017, so it's been a minute, but I think it's going to be worth it once it's all said and done, just because we've amassed so much footage, and I think it really gives a whole picture of what even if there's not a lot of money in it, having a project and a passion and a goal is something so important.
Yeah.
Robert Banks I think a lot of Cleveland filmmakers meet him like throughout the years.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of film students do. To this day, I think I've met him a lot when I was in school here, but he wishes me a happy birthday every year. And so he's also like a great guy on top of everything. So
Absolutely.
That's what's really cool. He's kind of a local legend. He's kind of a myth.
Yeah.
Especially now with the 35.
Well, speaking of Cleveland State, he has a couple different Cleveland State students who have been helping him on this, finish this 35 project. And he has a real knack, I think, of finding these students who, they understand that digital is right now is like the main format, but there are some of these like old soul types who tend to be drawn to Robert, and I've gotten to know some of them pretty well. And it's just, I love to see him teaching this new generation to have an appreciation for celluloid, and that I think is going to be his legacy.
Do you think that? It's going to be interesting to see how his film alone turns out. But for like students and people who are making those short films that are going to Cleveland State Film Festival, is it best to go to like your local film festival, or should you try to get a premiere at like a different festival, get invited? Really quickly, I met a guy from Germany at the film festival. He had made a short film. He flew himself over here just because he said, I have a movie playing somewhere. I want to be there so I can talk about it. Great young guy, got his butt over here. And just when I met him, he was just standing in the middle of the room, eating a slice of pizza by himself. And I just walked over to him and just like raised my beer, and he raised his beer. We clinked him, and was like, "Where are you from?" and like, so I mean, would you recommend that to people who have short films or projects? To, it's great to have your home base festival, but movies can travel you.
Yeah, I honestly agree. I think getting it out there as much as possible. And sometimes obviously those submission fees those are going to be killer. But if you have the independent wealth to do so, or maybe you have some nice parents or grandparents who maybe instead of a holiday gift, you just say, hey, can I get some submission money? But I mean, here's I think just the best example. This past week, I was in charge of the theaters that had the short jury programs.
Sure, yeah.
The juror or one of the jurors who was in town won an Oscar for a movie called Period, End of Sentence. It's a short doc, very beautiful if anybody has a chance to see it. But she tried a bunch of festivals. The first one that selected it was Cleveland.
Wow.
And she won, and then that put her in consideration for the Oscar, and she won the Oscar.
Wow.
So that talk
Pay
about
attention
going
to
from
your qualifier. Yeah, okay.
going from
Good.
zero to everything.
Nice. Awesome.
Wow. So
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, with that, let's move into our segment that we call "Based on a True Story." It really puts us on the spot. When you guys came in, the audience here, if you're listening to this on, I think, May 9th, when this episode should release, audience came in and they wrote down some suggestions here. So we're going to Frankenstein a headline. Normally we take a random news headline, and that is our log line for a movie that we pitch to DJ Do It Again. And so we're going to try that game right here. We're going to pick some, but just the idea of the game is while we're pitching this movie, DJ Do It Again, he's going to be able to say, I don't like what you just said, pick something else, basically. So it's going to keep us on our toes.
Like a real executive.
Yeah, like a real executive. So
I left my suit and tie at home. My down day.
So our template here, a lot of people were asking when you came in. So it's going to be the A or an occupation, verb ending with an S, and then an or something, adjective, a noun, at, from, location. So kind of put this all together. I thought it could, cover a lot of bases with the topics. So if it doesn't make sense at all, it's your guys' fault.
We blame it on you.
Yeah.
Mike, you'll hand them to me.
Okay.
So the occupation is going to be a plumber. A plumber flings nasty. Oh, I like where this is going. Nasty Paris.
That should be a noun. Throw me in.
It wasn't.
Oh,
noun.
it is a
Somebody
noun?
used the proper
Oh,
noun.
no.
Let's use a well-drawn bottle of vodka. All right, so we have a plumber flings a nasty, well-drawn bottle of vodka from Iceland. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. You didn't
Based
write
on
it.
a true story. Okay. So
Compose.
we're just going to jump in. You just got to jump in. We're on a team. We need to make this movie happen.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right, DJ Do It Again. Thank you for having us to your studios. This is really great. We're really honored to be here. We're going to pitch you our movie. It's based on a true story. Based on a true story about a plumber who flings a well-drawn bottle of vodka from Iceland. Okay. So we open with our hero. His name is Dirk. His name is Dirk.
Yeah.
And Dirk is a seasoned veteran plumber, right? He's a grizzled vet, right, man? He's got scars in places
he's
you don't want to know
Self-made.
about. Self-made. Yeah.
Family business.
He's got a problem, though. He needs to raise money for
His vodka business.
his vodka business.
I think he should be raising money for something different.
Well, the vodka business is very important to him because his father also had a side business of vodka, but he only learned this at a young age.
So he's trying to keep his family business, vodka making business, alive. So he's got to raise money to keep the business alive. Even though he's a plumber. So he's a plumber. His side business is vodka. Okay, we good? All right, cool. See, his special technique is that he brews vodka in toilets.
It should be something different.
in the tanks of toilets,
It should be something different.
in showers.
No, it should be something different.
He brews vodkas in sinks, in old sinks.
At Home Depot.
Yeah, at Home Depot. So they let
they're-
them in late
they're,
at night.
They're cleanly.
Yeah. So they're the new ones. They haven't been used. But here's the thing: they each vodka is different depending on what type of sink that they use. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Dirk, he's trying to get his family business and keep his balance going on, but there's a problem going on in Iceland, and there has just been overflowing sewage coming up through all the sewers.
Yeah.
And how does Dirk's a plumber? He gets one of the first calls because he's a veteran of the business, so he's got to think of a solution of stopping the raw sewage that's coming up. He's got
His special vodka puts
Yeah.
it down.
yeah. So he starts
that's-
pouring vodka down the drains.
And that's what helps save the ecosystem of Iceland.
It should save something different, I think.
So instead of he tried pouring it down, but instead of that, he just drank a full bottle, try to throw some stuff off the
He
wall.
saw a lot of shit that
Yeah.
day, okay?
Crazy
and he
day.
just drank it, okay? But here's the thing. Here's what happened, right? The shitstorm that came out of the sewers, right? It was just so bad it knocked out all the communications, and Iceland was completely knocked out from talking to the rest of the world, okay? So the only thing that they could think of doing is start flinging vodka to other countries, right?
They should do something different, I think.
So they were just going to strap rockets to vodka bottles and fling them to other countries.
I don't know. I think they should do something different.
They were going to tie them to these ancient, like pterodactyl-like creatures that you can only find in Iceland that nobody knows about.
With Z. The Z is silent.
The pterodactyls, who were able to make it on right after the zebras on Noah's Ark. Okay. So their plan is to fling these birds into the air, these nasty bottles of vodka. But here's the problem, right? If Dirk starts using all his surplus and supplies of real bottles of vodka, his family business won't be able to go into effect. So they decide to hand draw bottles of vodka with messages written inside the hand drawn bottle of vodka. That way he doesn't ruin his business, right?
It's called Message in a Bottle.
Yeah.
Message in a bottle.
It should be called something different.
It's called
I got to get to a meeting here, man. I think it needs to be something different.
I Must Break You.
I don't know. I think it should be something different.
It's called Mother Russia.
Russia. Because they think that because the Russians love vodka so much that they will be the first allies to come help them out.
The pterodactyls just flying over towards Russia.
Yep.
These nasty bottles of well-drawn vodka bottles just getting sent out there, and no one's responding. The sewage is
It's just building up.
keeps
Nobody's
building up.
helping. So he decides he has to do what his calling and go plumb. Like he has to go plumbing. So he goes and he's going day to day. But then people start showing up on boats. They're like, "Hey, we heard you had problems."
I think they should sew up on something different.
They fly back on the pterodactyls because the pterodactyls are returning home to roost. Okay, so in fact, we have a cutscene. It's a really funny cutscene. This is a comedy, by the way. We just figured that out. So essentially, the pterodactyls drop off the message in the bottle, and then whoever they just gave it to, they grab them and just fly them back to Iceland. So these pterodactyls are very well trained. Okay, that's our cutscene where just people are getting snatched and flown back. And so they just, he's getting coders and engineers and painters and people of all different walks of life, and he tells them about their problem. There's a shitstorm happening in Iceland. You're going to ruin all these beautiful landscapes. It's just covered in crap. And so they're like, we can help you. We will band together. And so you kind of get in the middle of the movie, all this team coming together, and they end up creating a super A team, a plumbing team.
Yeah, plumbing everything. You got these coders rerouting sewer pipelines,
Yep.
all the good stuff. However that works in the network of
This is all in the
pipes.
trailer.
Yeah, this is all.
These
all
are
right
beats.
there.
Boom. Somebody coding, somebody painting
Yeah,
schematics.
some ditch diggers, making new routes of sewage.
They should have some different guys in there.
They got bowlers that are just throwing bowling balls.
Yeah, they should
to-
have probably something different.
You're right. You got mechanics that are just building massive, machines that can excavate new pathways for these pipes. Bigger pipage, and then they got to lay the pipe in Iceland.
Burley pipes.
Yeah,
Burly
big,
pipes.
big burly pipes, and then they got the lumberjacks cutting stuff down.
But to top it all off, one of the pterodactyls drops off this woman who just is a Russian, and she has this ancient secret recipe of vodka,
And the voice of an angel.
voice of an angel. So she's a singer. She's like wooing all these like workers after their long hard days. But then she also helps his dad, Dirk's dad, keep the vodka business up and running on the side. And they end up falling in love. So they have like, we have a romantic through line through all this. So you got the A-team, the romantic through line, the pterodactyls, like the pet pterodactyls, but they're in peril in one scene because there's just like things shooting out of the gutters randomly. So this is just man versus shit. This movie, that's the log line.
Yeah.
What'd you call it? What's the name of it? We Will Break You?
I think it should be a different log line. I really do.
The log line is,
When she hit the land.
I don't know. I think it should be something different.
it's about to be a shitty day.
I think it should be something different.
Oh shit.
I like that. Okay.
Great.
Oh, we make
Sold.
you happy.
So yeah, that's our movie. The resolution is they just clean up Iceland, tourism starts back up, and at the center of this beautiful burgeoning tourism is Dirk, his new wife with the angelic voice, Father Vodka, and everyone comes to see this shitty vodka pub,
And world peace was achieved.
from Iceland.
I think they should achieve something different.
Everyone in the world becomes an alcoholic,
I like that.
including
I really like
babies. Sorry. So what's the name of this movie again? Didn't we have a couple ideas we were magic workshopping?
Yeah, we really need a title for this, guys. Come on, hurry up. Let's go.
Icy vodka,
Nah, it should be something different.
pterodactyls.
What do you got over there, guy? What do you got?
High potency.
High
Nah,
potent.
It should be something different.
Vodka
Come on,
Day
title.
keeps the doctor away. It's a long title.
We'll abbreviate it on marketing materials.
Okay.
So you check it with your board members, right?
I was gonna say I gotta lean to the back room and see if we're gonna talk to the investors here. Guys, do you think we're gonna buy this movie? Board. How many? Give me a show of hands, guys.
Oh, mixed crowd.
I don't know.
I see a lot of thumbs up. I counted
Yeah.
at least a dozen.
I think we might have to make a couple tweaks and changes, but I think we're gonna make this movie, fellas.
We're gonna make it.
Did
Gonna
it.
make it. Nicely done.
Let's do the last Chick-fil-A raffle, Mike, if you want to pick out
Okay, so I just read the whole thing.
You can just read the name.
the name.
Peyton Mack.
All right, there you go.
Mac. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get those. All right, we'll get those at the end. Nice.
You can't have it. You have to stay till the end.
Very, very good. Man, that script was a little broken. I get it. But it almost broke my brain trying to get that one through. And speaking of broken things, if you have a doodad, a what's it, any thingamabob, or even a box full of trinkets that have just been waiting for repair, take them on down to your local Big Guys Repair. With over 500 locations across these United States and Guam, Big Guys Repair brings the small town repair shop feel to you, whichever place you are in, except for Florida. There's no fixing that place. Big Guys Repair can fix anything. They employ only the best and brightest at Big Guys Repair, and they will return your item working or your money back. At the checkout counter, whisper Big VC Pod into the friendly associate's ear for 30% off your repair price. There's no job too big for Big Guys Repair. This is not an actual product, service, or idea, just in case you thought it was. It's not. If there's something out there with the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation and offer no judgment on the actual product, service, or idea. So pretty.
New.
Thanks everybody for hanging with us. We're doing our last segment right here. This one, we like to leave you with a little bit of inspiration. And so we are going to do our segment called Don't Quote Me on This. And we're taking a quote from somebody that we respect. In this case, somebody Mike really respects. And we're just going to talk a little bit about it and how it might have, affect us, impact our life through the quote. And maybe, you'll get something out of it too. So the quote that we have today is from the very famous and sometimes infamous David Lynch, the filmmaker David Lynch. And the quote that we're talking about today is, "Intuition is the key to everything in painting, filmmaking, business, everything. I think you could have an intellectual ability, but if you can sharpen your intuition, which they say is emotion and intellect joining together, then a knowingness occurs." How about that, Mike?
Which is just on a. Sometimes I think it's Lynch's world. We're just living in. I
That's
think.
probably true. We're all in a
some
Lynch
ways.
movie. They got it wrong with The Matrix.
Right.
We're in a Lynch movie. What I really like about this, and then I'll fling it around the table really quick. I'll fling it around. A well-drawn message about it. I really like this because I think a lot of great, achievers in the world, hopefully a lot of people from Cleveland that were on that list probably got this, that, sometimes there's just not enough time in the moment to think about it or to do all this stuff. So you have to make a decision. And if that's an intuitive decision that's based on prior experience, knowledge base, and emotional maturity, I think you're going to make that decision the right way 9 times out of 10. It's people who don't have those 3 things that end up making decisions that are just kind of off the cuff or wild or on a whim. I know Steve Jobs was big on intuition, and he got it. Intuition isn't like a magical, mystical feeling that you just get. It's not something that just pops out of the sky. It's really a bunch of layers. So what I like about Lynch is that he's saying you can apply it to everything in life. And I also like when filmmakers talk outside of their industry and just say, look, this is what I learned from making films. I think you can apply it to everything. And I think people are really comfortable around intuitive people because they feel like that person will make a decision that's fair or that's going to get all of us through this. So this really spoke to me. I'm definitely going to think about it and contemplate it more.
Oh, definitely.
What do you think?
Oh, for sure. What was that? Other quote, something like, if you give me 4 hours to chop down a tree, I'm going to spend the first 3 sharpening my axe or something like that.
There you go.
It's doing all the little things over and over until they just become second nature. And you've already seen the crap-filled bottles of vodka flying into the ocean on the pterodactyls, but you're going to know what to do when you come across that situation. And that is, we've talked about this several times of, just do it. Just start doing it. Keep failing. Just keep doing it. And then when you are put in a position where you have to succeed, you're going to be ready. You've built up all your skills. You have a good baseline. And then if something new comes up that you don't know, you're going to already have that background of how to figure out what to do. So having that intuition of, overcoming those odds.
Yeah, and I think where in regards to some of my own experiences when first trying to get into this business, for any of the film students out here or any of the film students listening, there are times when you're maybe not going to get that big job that you're hoping to get, or maybe the film that's coming into town, maybe you don't get a position on it. I took one of those experiences where I didn't get a job, and I just called up some friends and we started making something, and we eventually, it turned into a documentary, that got to play festivals, and everything. So I always look at it like this, like taking certain rejections, and there might be a lot of rejections, down the line, but if you just keep creating, keep working towards the goal of being a filmmaker, I think that is something that you can take away from those, like making positives out of rejections. This is a story whenever I tell to classes, like I really badly wanted to work on the Avengers, and I interviewed with my now boss who didn't hire me.
Getting in there, gonna blow it up from the inside.
Yeah.
Got it. Good, smart.
But and that was it was really disappointing just because it was like kind of in your face every day. Like every day you turn on the news, it was like, well, the Avengers did this today. I was like, ah. But it was one of those things where I started to kind of get very introspective and just say like, okay, like what can I be doing better? So I reached out to him, and thankfully he replied to my email, and he said like, you didn't interview that great, you weren't that confident, and then also there were, your resume was a little kind of out of whack. So I took that time period in between some of the big films that came here and just, really started to like get work on as many things as possible. And then I switched up the resume. And when Captain America came around and they were looking for people, I reached back out to them, reapplied, interviewed much better, and I got the job. So it's one of those things where, like I said, never take that rejection as the first answer.
I really like that. I think diligence and dedication is what you're talking about right there. And I know I get a lot, like our audience tonight is a lot of eclectic, occupations, a lot of people who do different things from photography and business and engineering and finance. And, when I talk to younger filmmakers, and I think really you can talk to younger people and yourself, is that you just got to, don't be too fast. Like, don't rush yourself. Have patience. There's masters out there who have been doing things that they've been doing for such a long time. I heard a story the other day about a man who was playing blues up until the age of 85 and finally got an album. Somebody finally signed him to do like an album. It's just, you just keep going, you keep loving it no matter what it is. But that discipline is just going to be layers of experience.
For sure.
And then pretty soon people are going to start coming to you to say, how did you do it? And hopefully you're going to tell them like a lot of hard work, because I don't think anybody really gets anywhere without that grind.
Yeah, that's the thing, is a lot of young people, or anyone starting off in any industry, you glorify these people that have been doing it for decades, and you're like, oh, I'm never going to be in that position doing that. It's like, no, you can. It's going to take, 5-10 years to get there, but you got to start here, ground zero. Hard work is going to outwork any talent anyone has naturally. So if you're showing up every day, learning a little bit every day, taking one step, like what is the other one? Every 1,000-mile journey starts with a single step. So you need those steps. You're not going to get to the finish line right off the bat. So take your hits but keep going.
And one other thing, just to tie back into this quote about intuition, I think you will start to realize, oh, I can't handle this situation. And that's when you know you've got something. That's when you know you've reached a new plateau of what you're doing. When people come to you with a question and you know the answer and you can just take care of it right there. That's what I think this quote is about. No matter what you're doing, he says it. It's emotion and it's an intellect. And so you got to have the mind and you got to have the heart. And so you got to respond with, you got to be calm. So that's going to you got to go through a lot of crappy experiences before you can be calm about something when it's in your face. And then you got to have the brain power and the knowledge base to react to it accordingly. So yeah, I'm going to print this one out. This is my first tattoo right here. This is my first tattoo. The whole thing.
Right on the ribs. No, you could do one like right here.
And eventually we are going to get better at pitching movies.
Yeah, it'll happen. It's a learning experience for us.
Do you have any advice that you'd want to give? And you can start with filmmakers, but then also just somebody who's broken into an industry. Give it a broad advice to people younger than you.
Any advice to film? I think you have so many, especially I guess in regards to here to Cleveland State, as far as filmmakers go, you have so many things at your disposal. Take advantage of all the opportunities that you're given. And look, we have some students here who are operating the cameras here that are recording this podcast. I'm sure not all of, maybe some of their classmates were given the opportunity and they didn't take it. But, the fact that these students are doing this, this is what's going to give you more experience, the leg up. So I think always taking those opportunities that are given to you, even if you might want to have more free time to yourself, or you just want to go to a movie or something. It's like, if there's an opportunity, do it. Sometimes I get the kind of ongoing joke with me is I'm like a walking cliche because I'm always doing something, or I'm never taking a vacation. But it's like the kind of workaholic method has kind of got me to where I've been. So, I think you can apply that to almost any occupation. Really, just immersing yourself, giving it all, and it really kind of comes back to you in waves. Just because like people respect you, and then you can have the satisfaction that you did a great job.
Nice. Thanks. And anything of just like breaking into an industry or tactics about, like, you talked about interviewing. That's universal right there.
No, for sure. I think it might sound boring, but just really listening to people, being nice. I think we heard that a lot during the pandemic. It's just like, be nice. But and I know that can kind of sound like a really kind of just like a no-brainer kind of thing. But I think just having the positive attitude, really, showing the drive for it, can really get your foot in the door. And that's how I've been able to meet so many people, just just by listening to different ideas and just being an ear for those.
Being genuine. That's great. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So with that, we are just going to get into our last little bit. We check in with our Aussie news friends every episode, and we give you a piece of factual, evidence-based, hard-hitting news from the land down under. Just kidding.
Be a hero, mate. You look after your mates, and your mates will always look after you. Yeah,
So-
cheers.
This is our Aussie news segment of the podcast, and it's just something that we've done for a long time, since probably episode 1. And we have been finding a lot of heartwarming stories from down there. This one, the headline is Outback Community Rallies to Help Find Lost Teddy Bear. And this teddy bear went on a journey, my man. It started off, this is the movie we should have pitched. I'll tell you right now.
Hey.
5,000-kilometer cross-country journey of a family. The father was taking pictures with this stuffed animal with his son, doing all these little activities.
That's more than 7 miles just with conversion, if you're wondering.
Way more than 7 miles. And, he's an older dad. They take a photo. They get in the car. They're driving away. And he hears that thing that every parent dreads. Where's Teddy?
I thought it was going to be something else.
And they were like a half day already gone. So they had gotten to their location, and this guy reads as kind of like a half-assed kind of dad, though. He's like, he's literally quoted as saying, I could have gone back, but he might not have been there. So it would have been a wasted trip. I was like, wow, okay, buddy. Thankfully, the mom jumped in. She went to Facebook. She posted, looking for missing teddy bear. Looks like this. They had all these pictures from the trip. And they the kid was sad. They went to bed. The next day, they had all these comments of all these people in the towns they had been through. And they say, we'll take a look. Where was the last time you saw him? And all these people from their road trip, from all these towns, just were like sleuthing to figure out where this bear was, this little teddy bear. Some guy who's like a cattle rancher or something way out in the boonies saw the last picture of where the bear was. It was like, that's 20 kilometers from my house. So he went out there.
Less than 7 miles.
Sure enough, the bear was sitting in the exact same spot where he was in the picture. Takes the bear back to his house, tells the family, hey, I found the bear. This is great. They were so excited. The kid was through the roof. And the story gets better. How does this get better? It gets even better. This is the movie we should have picked. The thing is...
They made Toy Story already.
Yeah, they already made Toy Story. But again, the dad is the villain in this movie. I just realized it. He wouldn't drive back to get the bear. So the mom asked if there were people like driving through, and this bear hitchhiked from the place all the way to the town that they had moved to. And people were volunteering, and they would drop it off and like exchange this bear. And somebody built him a little bear backpack and had him with a little roll up sleeping bag and had him like drive in. And it was so heartwarming. The saddest thing, the part that broke my heart, like completely shattered it, was the cattle rancher posted a picture of him and the bear watching like one last sunset together. And it was just like, It's been good, mate. It's been real good. And I was just,
that'll do.
And he's got like, yeah, that'll do, Bear. That'll
They're
do.
both sitting there with a cold Foster's like, this is going to be a nice one, mate. Thank you.
And so little Teddy eventually got back to his Johnny, his Billy, his whatever, and they were reunited. No thanks to the dad.
Hey, come on, give him some credit. I'd read his book. The Dad.
What really happened? I'd read his book. Best-selling author, Jerk Dad. Get it today. Canberra bestseller. Anyway, that's it for Aussie News, guys. So that's a heart warmer.
Yeah, I mean, because in life, when you're going on a journey and you don't know how you got there, and you don't know who's taking you, well, you got to open up. You got to be truthful and honest with the people around you, giving you opportunities. They're there if you take them. Maybe you can ride the pterodactyls or the zebras. I mean, maybe you're playing in the rain while you're doing it, or you're shocking dogs with a collar. Only when it's necessary, or don't. It's up to you. Because when you're married in life, you have to think, what is the best country to live in? Are you going to be able to smoke weed there? Are you riding electric bikes? It's a whole world of opportunity, and then it all comes back to being from Cleveland, right here. There's 100 people. I got a whole list of 100 people that are from Cleveland that are celebrities, and the next one could be in this room. Just you wait, because the opportunities of life, the intuition that we build, and the dedication and discipline that you put forth, truly allows you to be the guardian of Cleveland Film Commission and welcome in and shepherd the new hopefuls coming into their creative endeavors.
So we like to make sure all our listeners and all our viewers out there are left with a nice solid recommendation, something from our lives that we enjoy, a movie, a TV show, a product, anything. So this week we handed over our recommendation station, as we like to call it. We handed it over to Mike. So Mike, you want to give everybody a recommendation?
Yes. As I said, I'm making a documentary about Robert Banks. If you want to see some of his work, the Modern Museum of Art, or MoCA, has an exhibition by him right now called Color Me Boneface. It's a collaboration with his longtime friend Dexter Davis. There's art, there's photography, there's a film. I really suggest it, and MoCA is also free to the public. Secondly, I would like to recommend a film. It came out in 2020. It's called Holler, and it was shot in Southern Ohio by a director named Nicole Regal. It's a really interesting story about a young woman who wants to go to college but can't afford it, so she becomes a scrapper in this like underground world where they scrap all this metal from everywhere. It is pretty awesome, and once again, shot right here in Ohio. She actually made a short first. With the short, it got a lot of attention. She got funding for the feature. So really great independent film, and highly suggested. It's called Holler.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for those recommendations, Mike. And just so we know, where can we find you again on Instas?
You can find me on Instagram on nmike and Twitter nmike1.
Got it. That's at ENDMIKE.
That is correct.
Nice. Well, everybody, that does it for our show. We really appreciate you being here. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you watching. Mike Wendt, thank you very much, my friend, for coming in and joining us for this podcast. Yeah. Let's hear some clappage. I also want to thank Cleveland State University for hosting us. Thank Professor John Bond for his commitment to this school. I heard it's like over 25 years, probably closer to 30. He's a true bedrock of this program. We couldn't do it without him. We're all here because of it, because of his work. We want to shout out Rick Pitchford, who handles all of the tech, who did some runs with us when we were here and really prepped this room for us. Deanna Michelle, I know this is my Oscar speech, so just let me have it. And thank you for being here, supporting us, and getting the raffles together. DJ, do it again. We could not do it without you.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's always a good time, every time.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much, our audience, for being here live and adding your energy to this show. It felt good and unique. We just crossed 50 episodes. So here's to another 50 more of the Velocity Chaos podcast. I want to thank my best friend, but there's a lot of best friends at this table. My best co-host,
None
Luke.
taken. None taken.
And I just want to say, great show. Had fun. This is good. This is Nick signing off from the Velocity Chaos podcast.
And this is Luke signing off. Thank you guys, everyone here that came and trudged the rain and everything. We really appreciate you, the students doing the camera work. Really appreciate you guys sticking around and giving us your time. John Bond, of course, as well. Cleveland State. Everyone, thank you again. Have a good one. And like we always say, if you check the boat and the zebras aren't there, start chucking vodka bottles. Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in to the Velocity Chaos Podcast. We upload new episodes every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to subscribe and rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. Interact with us on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod or on Facebook and YouTube at Velocity Chaos Podcast. We are grateful for your time and hope you enjoyed it here. Please tell a friend, and thank you once again.